Hey, so I just wanted to walk you through kind of all the editing of the new website, and hopefully I can cover almost everything. I guess knowing that you are aware of HTML is definitely beneficial, but I'll just kind of record this, assuming that this could be handed down any future admin of this site, anyone who wants to make changes. So basically, if you're on the website, anywhere on the site, you can actually hit your escape key, and it'll take you to like the login screen, and you can go ahead and log in. And then what you'll see immediately are this top menu. And with Squarespace, you can actually select content, which is content editing. Structure is structure editing, which is kind of the architecture of the site, like the pages and kind of the structure. And then style editing would be considered like the CSS styles that were developed specifically for your site. And then preview is considered pretty much how the world would see the site. So when you're in preview mode, you still have this top bar, but everything is visible as it would be to the rest of the world. When you're logged in, you can basically bounce around the site and go to a particular page and press content, and then you can edit the page by selecting the edit button there. So I guess we can go in right now. So let me just take you on a tour, I guess, of the home page starting off. So this positioned, well, let's go, I guess, in this content area anyway. So each one of the pages has this edit page functionality, and you can see right now that there's the large image that appears in the home page, and then the text that is displayed on the site. Generally, all the pages would have the following code. Like now we're on the firm page, so then we can say edit page. So all the page titles, I try and use an H2 or a heading 2 for all of those. And in Squarespace, if you click on it, then if you look in the lower right, you'll see how it says H2 real tiny there. You can also switch over to the HTML mode and kind of see that the firm is wrapped in that heading 2. And if that didn't exist, like let's say this was just a paragraph or something like that, boop, 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 and then you're back in here in the normal what you see is what you get mode. That's that WYSIWYG mode. And if we hit save and close now, we've pretty much gotten rid of the H2, and this is all paragraph text, which means we should probably go and reformat. So an easy way to do it is if you select the text you want, then you can come up here to format, select the heading, and H2. So that's kind of a good thing to do for consistency throughout the site. We've kind of said that this hierarchy, the H1 would be your site title, and then the H2 as it steps down. Then you can have H3, H4, etc. On the home page, I actually have this content area as an H4, and then this is paragraph text here. So just kind of, as far as the formatting and things like that, we just kind of set it up that way. Then on the sidebar, well, I guess the logo area, that is editable, but really it's just kind of the logo only. But it was just a way that if I'm going to position a div or an HTML div in one area, I would rather just go ahead and use an HTML widget or a Squarespace widget, because then you can add things to it. For instance, if you wanted to drop anything down below this and kind of have a special announcement or something that would appear down there, then you could do those kind of things. Same goes for this section here. I guess you wouldn't want to delete any of this because I do have some custom buttons going on in here. So I have a button class, this minimal on click. So there is an actual on click event. So on some of these areas, you want to be careful when you probably wouldn't want to hit save after editing anything here because it might strip out that local code. So actually probably would be best in this case to use this raw HTML mode. There's on click. So anyway, in the raw mode, it wouldn't change any of the code. So if you're going to put strictly code in, then you can kind of do it that way. But since this content probably won't change, then, again, it's one of those things that it's not terribly difficult, but in these kind of custom areas, since that does have a custom, the buttons that we referred to, Squarespace doesn't really have an undo. So what you might do in this case, if you're going to like change these links or something like that, you can, I always like to, kind of copy that and maybe either email it to myself or just save it locally in a document. And then I can make changes. And if something is wrong, then at least I can revert back to the way it was before I made the change. So a couple side notes there. One more on the editor. You can actually push this plus sign in the upper right of the editor and you'll get like a full screen kind of view of both the WYSIWYG editor and the code view and the HTML view. So it makes it a little easier to see kind of what's going on. And I'll just save close. Then as far as the, well, I guess we can go on to other pages. So let's go to the firm page, which we looked at that already, I guess. Guess I'm waiting. Oh, I have to click. And sometimes when you're in this edit mode, everything is kind of pushed down and looks kind of weird. It's just because we are in the edit mode, so all those buttons appear. But you can feel free to add whatever content that you'd want to any of these areas. If you want to add content immediately after this paragraph, basically just hit edit, and then you can, put in the appropriate content and hit save or whatever. You can also embed a video. If you go to like YouTube or Vimeo or any sort of video hosting solution, you can go ahead and grab the embed code by inserting the video with that embed code directly into that page right there. So that's kind of handy. And then as far as formatting text and content and things, you can select text and make it bold, italic. And if you hit save, you'll see that applied right there. So looks like I have an extra thing in there. So if I unitalic and unbold at that point, then that'll save all that. Or you can go into that HTML mode and obviously change it that way too. Let's see what other things we have here. This block right here is actually an unordered list, and it's already kind of formatted to look like this, which will be kind of handy kind of going forward. If you wanted to put, let's say you wanted to put like an unordered list or a list of items after this word sizes, so we can go ahead and do that. Pretty simple. So basically, put your cursor at the end of it, hit enter, and we could say line 1, enter, line 2, enter, line 3. And then all you have to do is select that text. And then if you come up here and select the bullet, these bulleted list up here, there it says unordered list. And in this mode, in the actual editor, you won't see that styling. This is very basic styling just to allow you to format your content. But then if we hit save and close, there we go. So there's that list that we just put in there. So you could even go in there and put a heading before that list. Or actually, you could kind of do a number of things. You could kind of, you know, heading title here. Oops. Stay. And then we can kind of make that an H3 or something, and then say italic or something. And then you can kind of break up what you're kind of referring to, what you're highlighting here. I'll go back and delete those things though. You can either delete them like this, or if you hop over here to the HTML mode, you can pretty much see the whole thing, what I added here. So there's that. Let's go on, see if there's anything else unique. As far as linking items, pretty simple stuff. You can link to pages within the site. So let's say right after this word Teams, if you want to say contact us or something like that. So we have the word. Now we want to go ahead and select that text, and then if we hit this link up here, this little link chain, we could say your web pages. You select that, and you'll see the contact us page is right in there. So you select that and say save close, and then if you hit save and close, there's the word contact us, and it's linked and ready to go. So we can also link to external pages or external sites, rather, whatever. So let's go ahead and edit this. And instead of the word contact, you'd put HTTP if you're going to go offsite, http:// So then save close. And it will leave the site. You see this little icon right here. These are both going to be the same thing. It's, this is going to go to google.com. This is going to go to Landau Lawyers League. So what I've tried to do is keep this convention that if this is an off-site link, if it's an off-site link, use this little icon that means you're going to open up in a new window. So the way you set that up is you would select it and say edit, and then down here in more options, open link in new window, and show offsite indicator is what that is. So it's just kind of a nice design pattern to indicate that, oh, if you click this, you're going to go to Google. Whatever you'd say there. Obviously, you want to label it correctly instead of contact us, but that's the concept in that. That's why that arrow exists there. So I try and do that with every off-site link. That way that the user would know that when they click this, they're going to be leaving the site. Then if you want to remove that link, you can actually select that and say remove, and it pulls the link completely off of that. And then, obviously you can backspace that right out of there. Then any of these other, I think this is a PDF here. Yep, it's PDF. So actually what I'm going to do, I'll save close. I'm going to save one of these PDFs. Save link as, and I'm just going to save that. And we're going to say water ski article. I'm going to make this water ski article test. I'm going to show you how you can upload. So let's say we just have a document and it was given to us and it's another water skiing article. So what we can do is we'd want to go ahead and add that to the site. So rather than, you could go and upload it and then link to it, but this is usually easier to do. So let's say after this softball teams, we'd hit enter here, and then we'd link to the test PDF. Okay, and then we go ahead and select this text, and then if we go ahead and say add a link, what we can do is say your files, Oh, actually, upload a file. So we go ahead and first choose the file. And yeah, there it is. Water ski article test. And then before uploading, we want to go ahead and tell it where to go. So I'll show you how to set up all these directories and things. If you want more directories, you can certainly do that. But we have all the PDFs in a PDF folder. So there we go. I just selected PDF. And now I can go ahead and upload the file. And it's 590K. And there we go. So then if I hit save and close, if we go to preview mode then, and kind of come down here and we can say link to the test PDF. So if we click that, it'll open up that PDF. We go back to the page. So that's how that works. If you mouse over it, you can also see where that is in the lower left. It says storage/PDF. So that's the directory structure. So let's go find where that is. So if we go to website management, then we can go to data and media and then file storage. And here's that PDF directory. So if you open that up, we should see, yeah, there's our article. You can sort these columns by added on if you put a whole bunch in here. What's also kind of nice about Squarespace is if I wanted to upload like 10 more PDFs, for example, I can go ahead and say upload files, and I could zip those 10 PDFs into one zip file, upload them, and it would automatically decompress all them by doing that like that. So it's kind of a really cool feature, especially when you have multiple things to upload. And so actually, we can go ahead and delete this from here. You can also rename it. So, but by renaming it, it'll no longer be available at that same link. So you just want to be careful about that. But if I go ahead and remove it, and then if we hit escape in any one of these like admin kind of pages, it'll take you back to the previous page we were just on. And it's still linked because we didn't change that. Oh, we have caching going on right now. But we'll want to go in and remove that link. Let me say remove. And we can just delete it. Save and close. So that's how that works. Additionally, you can go back. I deleted that, but let's go back in here to the PDF directory and let's go ahead and upload. Select files. And we're going to go ahead and upload. I'm going to upload the same file again just to kind of show you. All right, and we can go back to the previous page. And we're going to go edit page. And let's say after Defense Council, we want to add another PDF. What we can do is select this, and it's already uploaded, but if we select this text, we'll still want to link to it. So then we can say your files, and then we can browse to that. So there's the PDF, and then there's our test article. Save, close, save, close. And there it is. So that's pretty easy stuff. Again, we'll just go ahead and pull it out of there. And you don't have to remove the link. You can just back it all the way out and it's gone. But in this example, I'll go ahead and remove that file because there's no real use for it. Remove. Confirm. There we go. All right, so now, let's see, we were on one of those pages. Oh, I guess we were on this page. Locations page. We have a map here. On this particular page, if you click structure edit. You'll go in here. All the pages, when you're in structure mode, all the pages will have this configure this page. This page, because it has a map on it, if I click in there, it's going to have a little different features than the other pages, certainly. Well, let's go back up here. So this is how you would label things. So each page obviously has a page title. It would have a navigation bar title and the URL. URL obviously would be /location in this case, or when your domain goes live, it would still be yourdomain.com /location. So that's how that's changed right there. And then the navigation bar title is how it would appear in the actual navigation bar area. And then the page title is obviously what would appear as the title of the page. And some of the pages actually have the page title that would appear within the page themselves. Some of these do, because they're a little more kind of complex pages, I guess, anyway. But since this one has the map, what we do is we basically put the address in there, and then I put just a little bit of code that I've kind of customized a little bit just to kind of make the font a little smaller, so it didn't wrap around and things like that. But and then you can kind of set your options here, and that's kind of all there is to these pages. I mean, to the actual map page. If you wanted to add actual page header information, you can also do that. You can do with the page header. Actually, I'll show you another page where we're using it. That way you'll be able to see kind of what goes on. The Contact Us page has kind of a similar situation to that last page we were on. So if you go to structure mode, again, you'll see configure this page. And here's that modify page header. And on this page, I actually entered this information into the page header. So, and I label it here. This text is considered page header text. Edit this text, go to structure edit, and then click above where it says modify page header. So I put that in there so you could, add some more information. Something like we're happy to discuss any matters with you. Here's more information on how to contact us. Here's maybe our email address. Here's additional phone numbers, blah, 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 all that stuff. And then, you can put this link in here. So how that's done is if we say modify page header, again, it's just another editor. So in this case, I put just a link to that actual locations page. So pretty simple. And I think I made that, I guess it's just bold, but this is another H2 with the page title. So that's how that works. And then the actual form content, if we go into content mode on this particular page, that's how you would edit these contact or the actual form areas. So you can add like a new field in this case if you want to say, let's say it's check boxes, create field, and maybe this one says like best way to contact me, you. Yeah, I guess we could say whatever, and if we could say this way, we could say phone or email, and then if we hit save, actually we can say required. If we hit save, obviously then they could make their selection. You can also click back into there and make a default. You could kind of automatically put an asterisk there, and it goes ahead and it selects that one automatically, which is kind of cool. Or if you can do both in this case, yes, you can. So anyway, that's how that works. If it's a radio type button where you only can make one selection, you can also do that same type of thing. So you could have, instead of this in here, you could say, sign up to receive our newsletter. Then you could say yes, no. There we go. So by default, we're saying yes, and hey, you said yes. So there we go. That's pretty much how that works. So we could say save close. To fill this out, you'd have to be out of the admin area, and that's how that works. But you can select these sections and say delete. You can also drag and drop them to any area on here. You can customize the existing ones, make them like larger if you want, like a larger field area, which may maybe be good for your situation actually. You could also put on here any information received is considered confidential. So let me show you how to add those labels. So let's say we want to add a new field. In this field, we just call it. I think we could do like a section break. And then on the section break, we don't even have to give it a title because then it'll be really big if you do. It'll be this size, so you can actually back out of there and say that any information you provide, blah, 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 all the way through. Hit save. And then, I guess you could keep that, if we hit preview then, you could keep that at the bottom, or I guess, maybe you could drag it up here. You could also add that kind of content to here. Any information you provide is deemed blah, blah, blah. So, either place is kind of nice. But, you could, if you find that people aren't seeing that or they're asking you, then you can kind of move that kind of thing up at the very top. I thought. There you go. So any information you provide. You might use this as instructional information about please complete So there you go. Kind of humanizes it a bit, I guess. Any information provided, so I'll take that out because we might forget. So just delete that, hit save. So building forms in Squarespace is really, it's actually kind of fun. So that's how that works. Have at it. And then as far as submitting the form, if you go to structure mode and then configure this page, again with the titles, page title, you don't need to do it here because we've added that H2. It would add exactly the same thing. Here we go. So save submissions to Excel spreadsheet. I'll actually, here's another browser. This is, I was in Chrome. So this is actually Firefox. If I opened up two Chrome browsers, they'd both be logged in to the system. So sometimes I like to test things using different brand name browsers, I guess. But I'll go ahead and fill this out. Alan Hauser. Testing the form. Blah, blah, blah. Hit submit. And thanks for responding. So I'll show you how to change that page too. So if we go back here, I'll go ahead and hit cancel. Well, let me go back in, sorry. This is showing you how to get there. But if we come down here, it says it's in website management, data and media, file storage. So remember we're in file storage area. And then captured data folder. And then there's a spreadsheet that is in there. You can also click right there and get it. Which is kind of cool. I found that out just the other day that was there. Oh, I guess it did download. I downloaded it twice. But let me show you where that is in the system. And what's kind of handy about that is let's say we have, where was it? Captured data. There it is. I guess it's going to go ahead and let's see if I can open this up. So there's probably 4 or 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 columns right now. And if we were to add another one, if we were to add multiple other things, it would actually update this. It wouldn't break the form. The data just wouldn't appear in those fields. So you can kind of see that, it did an okay job with it. It'll also, I guess that's the IP address, email address, phone number, and then the comments. It'll also send an email. Let me go ahead and hit escape. And page configuration again. Configure this page. So there we go. We're saying save to the spreadsheet. And then you can also collect new entries via email. So you can put your custom email address here. And then it's a, I wouldn't say it's nicely formatted email, but it's a text email. It'll say who it's from. It's also configured that you can hit reply on the actual email and it'll reply to them instead of replying back to Squarespace or something like that. So that's kind of nice. It'll use their email address as the reply to. You'll just want to make sure that you'd want to fill in your email address here that you would use. And here's that thanks for responding. So you can put in what information you want on that kind of confirmation. And then that's all there is there. So I'll just hit cancel because I didn't make any changes. So I think we've hit those pages. And then I think the last section here let's go to practice areas. And you see you can also navigate while you're in the structure mode. We can also cover page structure. Since we're in structure mode, you can actually move things around like right here, the way we're in these. If you wanted real estate litigation at the top, you can actually drag it and move it to the top. Not as easy as it looks. There we go, real estate litigation. So you could either, you could put those in alphabetical order or something like that. But, you can move those around however you want. Additionally, you can move this. You could say, I want about us actually right there. So there we go. I mean, it's pretty simple. Couldn't even tell it moved. You can also drag, let's say you want this attorneys into practice areas. You can actually do that. So there we go. Now we don't have an attorneys menu anymore. So, I mean, it's pretty flexible. You just gotta be fast sometimes. There we go. So I can also show you, so on the architecture page is where it makes more sense. So let's go to architecture. And this top left section, it says top primary. Everything in here that we're seeing in this entire area appears in the top navigation bar. So underneath Resource Center, here's our pages within a Resource Center. And then Contact Us is the last one there. So you can actually drag and drop the same way. Like if you wanted Contact Us and those sections, you can do that. Sometimes you can get things stuck. Not break, but you just gotta be persistent. So this is the top navigation bar. Anything in this entire section will appear there. Then there's other pages that you can add that are called hidden pages. And hidden, when you hide a section, it just means it's not going to show up on the actual website. I have other things like the logo, for example, that's in a section, and that's how it's appearing out there in the world. But what's kind of cool is you can, let's say you have some announcement that you want to make, but you're kind of still working on it and you're still writing it. This is actually the attorney's page. Oh, that's right. Yeah, here's an example. So the attorney's page, I guess we have it there. Well, forget that example. Anyway, you can actually create hidden pages. So this is a hidden section. So what we can do is create a page that's outside of that top navigation, literally. So it's out here on its own. So we'll go ahead and create an HTML page, and this is just going to be called test page. And we'll just keep everything default and say create page. And by default, it's disabled, so we want to go ahead and enable it. And this section's kind of dimmed out because it is hidden. So you could show it. And if we go now to the website, let me refresh out here. We may see that section out there. We may not. It might be hidden on other pages. Yeah, I don't see it. Anyway, so what happens, what's kind of cool about this is, I think we were here, I could say hide, is the world doesn't see this page on the website, but it actually has a live URL to it. So it's just not linked is what it is. So on this test page, then we can go ahead and say edit page. I'll call it test page up here, and I'll get some dummy text, paste it in there, select this, I'll do our H2. So there's this page. So what's really cool is, if I'm out here on the site, I don't see that page. I mean, there's no way to even find that page. The only way that anyone would ever find that page is if they knew how to get there. So in this case, it's test dash page. There it is. So so this could be information that that you're wanting to share with a select number of people. This could be maybe some particular client information. This may be some other partner information. Maybe it's a holiday announcement that works off of an email. Maybe you have like an email blast, and then for more information, click here. What would take you to this test page, and the rest of the world wouldn't see this. Other companies would use this for like a like a special coupon that they could hide and give to a select number of people, or like I said, a holiday announcement, or you could put anything on here. You could actually put a number of photos and share photos of the holiday party, and then, hey everyone, internally, here's the holiday information, whatever. So no one's going to ever see that, which is really kind of nice. If you wanted people to see it, then you just have to link to it. So, if you're on any one of these pages, you could say, here's more information on test page, and then you could put that link in there and then go to test page. Google will not see that page until the world starts sharing it. So right now, Google can't get there because there's no link to that page. Make sense? Okay. So let me go back to architecture. And what's kind of nice also about these is, let's say the world did know about that page, you can disable it. So now if I go back out here to test page and refresh it, I get a page not found. It's a 404 error, basically, is what that is. But you, as the admin, can still go out there, and it says it's disabled. So the page is disabled, means the world won't see it, but you can still, work on it, edit it, send it around internally. I guess you couldn't do it internally. People would have to be logged in to see it, is the point there. So, and then once you're ready to enable it, you can do that. And then to delete it, you just go back here to architecture, and you just delete it. You could say remove it. And anything you remove, FYI, is down here in this deleted components. So there's that test page right there. And then to get back, you just go there. You can actually restore things and they'll come back, but it's not like a safety. Well, I guess it would be considered a safety thing, I guess. Anyway, that's how that works. You can create other sections that do other kind of more advanced things on the site. This is considered a section, and then it's an editable section. So that was visible in the architecture section here. Sidebar button containers, what I call that. But you can pretty much say where you want that to appear, and I think we said on all pages in this case. And if you can put sections on one page, or you can share them on all pages, or everything except for one page, you can do it that way too. So that's the architecture section. Now the I guess practice areas. That's all very similar content. We talked about the unordered list, how that's going to automatically appear and do its thing. So those are all formatted, ready to go. Then the attorney page. So we have Jonathan B. Cole already kind of populated here, and looks like I need to add some spacing in there, which is a caveat. I've been editing it in Firefox. I didn't look at Chrome. Yeah, it's a little different. Okay, well I'll fix that. So let's see. I'll go ahead and start here. Since all these pages are going to be the same, the pages they all exist. This particular landing page it's an HTML page called Attorney List, and you can edit this page. So if you come in here and say, edit page, if you want to change any of these names or anything like that, make it bigger here. So I think this is actually a table is what I used. Unordered list. Oh, 3 unordered lists. Oh, that's right. So they're actually divs. I'm sorry. So I have one div and then another div, which is 2 containers side by side, and above that is another container. So basically, if you want to change any of these names, you could do that, and then you also want to edit the actual link to the actual page if you want to do all those things too. So it's usually easier to go, like if you're going to add someone new, it's usually easier to create that page first and then get all the information, and then you can bring it back to this particular list page. But let's go back here to Jonathan Cole. And so the back to attorneys list, that's automatically coming from, if we go into structure and configure this page, and scroll down here, I have this HTML snippet that has this custom button on it, and that button is linked automatically to the attorney list page. HTML snippet here. Okay, I just have text that says practice areas, and we'll get to that other stuff in a second. So then what we'll do is we'll say content and modify, and actually I have the first 2 attorneys already kind of populated, but what we can do is now go ahead and say let's go ahead and work on the third. So it's probably best to skip over to HTML mode in this case, and just put your cursor in here, select all, copy, and then I can just say cancel here. And then I can either back there. So there's Michael McCarthy page. And modify. HTML mode. Paste. Then we go back to back to WYSIWYG mode, and we can kind of see what's going on then. And we see there's actually, some other divs and things in here that you want to just kind of be careful of, because if you're in this mode and you kind of delete some stuff, then you'll kind of have deleted those. So what we'll do here is I've uploaded all of the photos already. So let's start with the photo. So if we select the photo and we say edit, then we'd say your images. And then we browse for that, and those are in the ATTY folder. So we just want to find Michael McCarthy Mike, select it, Oh, wait, that's the huge one. Let's do the small one. And then we say save close. So that was easy, right? And then as far as, here's the old site here. Recognize Southern California super lawyer. Michael McCarthy up there. Professional liability defense. So what I've been doing is that's easy. And then the phone, the email address. You can do it here, or you can do it. Might be easier in HTML mode, if you know HTML, which I know you do. So, if you switch over there, let's see. So, M. McCarthy. And themechanical.com. And I can just go ahead and copy that. So that's how it displays, and then here's the actual mail to there. Getting the VCF has been a challenge for me to get it from the Flash site. So what I've done is I've said download vCard on the Flash site. It does that. It's not a super easy task right now to get these. Now, if you could upload them all to a directory, then you could browse to them and get them that way. Certainly, that might be a better and easier way to do that. But we just want to make sure that we do upload. There's storage VCF michaelmccarthy.vcf. So download vcard. And let me get save close on this and just make sure we do get that file in there. So file storage. And if these were zipped, we could put them all in at once or something maybe. Upload files. Select files. So if those are all in place first, then it's just a matter of getting the name, copying, and then kind of going through that way and getting them in there the right way. I'll fix the spacing. Looks like, yeah, just need to tweak that a little bit, make this a little wider. And then the super lawyer deal out here. Michael McCarthy. So here's the link to this is an external link. Oh, this is Firefox. And here's my super lawyer link. Paste. And then all the rest of the stuff would go there, all the remaining content. So then, you can obviously check these things. Oh, they're just downloaded from the browser. Here's my email. And there's my super lawyers. So that's all working. And so that's basically what you do, to get the next and the next and the next. I have a particular style on the images that if they're left aligned, that they will add this particular drop shadow and things. So really all you have to do is just upload the image, and it'll add little tiny radius to the corners and add that drop shadow. Practice areas. Right. So let's go to practice areas. So, yes, I automated this section. So let me get that. Okay, so then Michael McCarthy is professional liability, business and commercial commercial litigation. So I have all the categories in here, so this is pretty easy to do. If you remember, professional liability, business, professional liability, labor and employment, personal injury, and none others. So then all I gotta do is kind of click off of that, and they're all in there. Then you can hit save, close, and those are all just appear down there in the bottom. So I've got those automatically linked. So when you click those, it'll automatically go to the right appropriate landing page, and then the user can go back to that attorney's area. So these are all linked using categories. So any one of these particular pages I've gone ahead and set up all those links to do that. And then if there's anything like you have these extra categories that we don't have a landing page for, so let's say like tort. So let's go here to David Myers, and I'll show you how this is going to work here. David Myers, content, modify. So let's go through his real quick. So we've got professional liability, insurance. And then labor and employment. Oh. Labor and employment litigation. Oh, highlight. Personal injury. And tort. So those are all the categories we've got. Then there's extra ones here. The way tags work is you just have to type it. So if I type the word T, then tort's already in there. So to say tort and then comma and then the next one. So let's say tort and test, just so we can have two. And then you hit save, close. So what happens is all the categories that we have links for, they automatically appear and they're linked. The ones that don't have links, those will appear. I guess I didn't need the space. I mean the comma. Oh, I know what it is. Yes, I think you do need the comma here. Save and close. The comma is actually coming from the system, and we'll go ahead and kill the comma right now. So in page configuration, this is how it all works in here. So you saw this one, that's the actual link, the button. And then this one here says practice areas. That's just that label that's over top. Pretty simple there. And then categories and tags. So categories is, we just said nothing, put nothing in there. And then I basically swapped out the mallet. There's a tag kind of image or something. And there's also tags, which it looks like, we'll just get rid of that. And get rid of that comma. But if you wanted tags to appear first, you could drag and drop it like that. You can kind of do a whole bunch of stuff in here. People might also want to print too. So let's say they do. So what we can do is say print. We'll just shorten it to say print instead of print article, because article doesn't make sense there. And then maybe we could say share also. So this pipe that I just drug up there, that's just to kind of separate things. So now I can go share. And then we'll do one more, and we'll use this email. Hide and save. So now those will all appear at the bottom of those. We can add any kind of spacing or anything like that in those if you want, because right now it does look a little cramped. But I could actually show you how the CSS kind of works in here if you want to see that too. So we can go to custom CSS and I can actually pop that panel out, which is kind of nice. And I'm just gonna go in here and hack this really quickly. So this is our attorneys. ATTY. Attorneys journal pages. And you can hit save. There we go. So I added some space before that. Add a little bit more. There we go. So you can also change those icons. The system kind of has their own little icon structure. It's in settings. Black, normal. There we go. So there's the opacity of all these. I guess we can't change them because I'll lose my hammer. But anyway, that's how those work. Save and close. And if we say share on this one, you can do like Twitter, Facebook, all those things. That's basically how that works. And then for these links, I mentioned that I've linked these to the practice area pages, and that is kind of a customization in the system under URL shortcuts. And if you ever want to add another landing page, another one of those, you'd basically create it and name it, and then you'd get that URL, which would be, it'd start with attorneys, all the way through. Actually, that's the category. Sorry. This is the category that we'd select. So you can make a new category and then do that, and then make your page that links to it. And I can walk you through that when, if that's a while down the road and you forget how that works. Brochure and newsletter, I don't think we hit those, but those are basically PDF links. You can pretty much see that. There's the contact page. Contact. I guess I have to link those. So I need the brochure and newsletter from you. All right. Well, if you made it this far, I can probably walk you through the majority of this on Skype as well. There are some additional website settings, code injection areas. This is what's edited into the header area. Here's my special CSS button. I have some script there and a script there. And then some additional coding for like the footer kind of content is in there. And then all the site settings are in here. Once we're ready to go live, we'll want to select these two to let Google kind of see the site. But we can go through and set everything up when we're ready to launch it. So that's about it. Thank you very much.